Hey, listeners, have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get my podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other places people like to listen? Where do I find advertisers? The answer to everyone's question is really simple: Anchor. Anchor is your one stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy. As simple as picking up your phone and going to your app store and downloading the app, or going to your computer and going to anchor.fm/start. So if you always want to start your own podcast, once again, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasts that are already using Anchor. And that's anchor.fm/start. And I can't wait to hear your podcast, guys. Peace. All right, guys, live back with the Smooth Way Podcast with your host, Destin Parker. I got my boy Kendall out in the building. Say what's up, man.
What's up, man? I'm sorry if y'all see me eating, but I'm hungry, man.
It's all good. It's all good. Life don't stop just because we record this podcast, man. But man, I'm glad that I got back on the podcast. Got a new computer. The other one had just shut down on you, boy. So been a while without the podcast, but we back. I want to start making this regular schedule, man. Like you my correspondent now, so you're every week I'm on, Kendall's on. So
Hey, listen, I'm here for that, man.
And so, man, I got this.
2019 is gonna be a good year too. Just not for the Jaguars.
Not at all. So I mean, I see you over there, man. You got your little beard, man. You see, I got my, it's No Shave November, of course. Generally, in your expertise, who's that usually been steered? What gender has that usually been steered towards?
Who said what gender
has that been steered towards for No Shave November? What gender has that generally been steered towards?
I mean, I would hope men, right?
Okay. That's what I thought too, until today, where I heard a woman told me, she would talk about her legs, and she was like, "It's No Shave November," and my mind instantly goes, "If you ain't shaving your legs, that means you ain't." You ain't shaving.
I mean, unless your other likes, your legs a little hairy. I mean, I'm not gonna just say anybody, but yeah, I've always thought that was a men thing. I never thought women do that.
No Shave November, and so like I said, with the legs comment, makes me think you're not shaving elsewhere too, and I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's for these beards, not those beards. But it just.
So since you talked about shaving elsewhere, does not having armpit hair make you less likely to be musty than having armpit hair?
I've heard that.
I was always curious about that because I have mine, but
I've shaved once, but it itches. So I kind of I ain't like I'm just Armenian, so I ain't busting out of here with a juice roll out of my armpit or nothing. So I'm like, I just leave it like it is.
and then speaking of No Shave November, is that only for beards, or does that go along the line anywhere you can grow pubic hair? Because you can grow pubic hair. I mean,
that's what
a lot of places.
I mean. I always take it as facial hair because that's what we can see.
I mean, we are in 2018 nowadays. I mean, people like.
Hey. I'm not in nobody's houses. I'm not trying to tell you what you need to do. But like I said, after I heard old girl told me, she ain't shaving because it's No Shave November, bro. I'm like, I'm now, my mind has been blown because I thought it was just a male thing. I ain't never heard one woman in my life since No Shave November has been brought to my attention. A woman go, "Hey, it's No Shave November. We ain't shaving." Now it's like, she out here with the woolly mammoth legs and shit, and
Well, granted, I mean, it is cold in November though, so maybe I could see you not shaving for warmth reasons. Maybe
maybe her husband like it. Maybe they like that corduroy feeling on each other, like corduroy pants. Hey, you tell me, bro.
Hey, I think they better come back anyway, so I guess you can't be too mad.
So man, what's up with the family, man? Everything good with you, man, and everything?
Yeah, man. Kids are growing up. Every time I look at them, they look bigger, and that just means that there is no going back in age. I can't go back. I think,
Yeah.
but today's no, yeah, we're in November, about to be in December, so I got like 6 more months of 20s, then
Yeah,
supposedly in
man.
June my back's just gonna automatically go out because I'm 30. So from what everybody else say, I mean,
It always go.
CrossFit or not, my back is just going out, So
Yeah, man.
ugh.
Gonna be like your boy Ben over there. He can't teach me
Woo.
to me action sports. My man be on the
Yeah.
hot water bags and laying it out.
Hey, we love you, Ben. Hey, I'm just saying. But nah, man. Hey, but it's funny though, cause Ari, she's got real crazy, bro. Like how the youngest sibling, they see the older sibling get in trouble, they feel like they can't get in trouble, and
Oh yeah.
then since she's a girl, she's like, oh, daddy ain't gonna do nothing.
Ain't gonna do
But
that.
yesterday, she touched the Christmas tree. She touched my ornament of everybody ornament, who I told her not to. And you talk about, I popped her. She looked at me like,
Oh, you
uh,
doing this now? Is
uh,
this
uh,
what you doing? You out here whooping the little girl
yeah.
too? That was she like. She
Like
like.
you all the time.
She thought she was safe out here. She thought she was safe
Hey,
out here in the streets.
nobody's safe. Not when it comes to daddy food or daddy ornaments, because you know what? I worked hard for that Darth Vader ornament to look that thing down. Shoot.
So
But nah, man.
speaking, go
Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
well,
What you
say,
want to say?
how's the Huntsville, bro? The Alabama.
Huntsville's nice right now. It's getting cold, and like windy cold. Even like there's 29 today. It was like I'm not really rocking with this cold for real. I miss my Florida weather, but I think y'all kind of getting chilly now. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
46
no.
degrees right now.
Normally, no, normally I stood last few times I've been there when I was there. It was warm all the way through December, and then get cold in January. But now y'all, it's like it's something going through the atmosphere right now that everybody's starting to get cold early. But man,
Climate change.
yeah,
Yeah.
like everything going good, man. It's just living life, man. Getting through this marriage life, best way I can, without any bumps or bruises. But that still comes with the territory, bro.
Yeah, man. If you think you would come through without any bustle bruises, you got the wrong thing,
Yeah, you
dog.
get the wrong
Yeah.
thing, man. Man, and it's been funny, dog. Just learning more and more about my wife, man. Like I got a few stories, dog. Like I got one story, so and it's funny, like there's white clubs and there's black clubs, right? There's two different clubs, and
Oh
when
yeah,
you go
we
to
know.
so when you go to these clubs, something differently is happening at this one, and something different has happened at this one. So you go to a white club, it's generally the DJ's playing a mix up mashup of music. It's probably lights going on, yada yada. It's a lot of people, just whatever. When you go to a black club, it's probably more standing around, a little bit
Probably
more
more, bro.
hood.
That's how everybody do, bro.
Yeah, standing around a little bit more hood music, yada yada. Even the drinks a little bit different. When you go to a white club, you got Dirty Shirley's, and niggas don't know what Dirty Shirley's are. We like, who is Dirty Shirley? Is she here? Is she that dirty? Get her out of here. You know, we, like we don't want her in here. Then when you go to a black club, your
Oh,
drink selection is limited. You got vodka, Hennessy, Remy, and some beers. You got that vast majority. You don't have a bunch of these. Like you got margaritas and mojitos. And so it's since my wife has been married to me, we're back here in Huntsville with a lot of my family. We have some family that we do hang out with. So, we go to black clubs, because my family's black. So, and was one
oh
time
Lord.
we're going to a club and we get there. Normal procedure, got a car, we head to the door, we get inside the door. Amber's in front of me. Security guard stands up, just like anywhere else, and she raises her. First, Emma gives her ID, check her age, cool, and then she raises her arms up. The security guard goes like this, like she raises her arms up to her side like this, not like this, but
Uh-huh.
to her side. In Amber's mind, it registered as she wanted a hug, and the
Wait,
lady.
come out. So you in line watching everybody else get in line or getting patted down.
Luckily, this particular bar, it was like no line this time. Like we got the kind of so it just the bouncer there, it just us two. So she's in front of me, I'm behind her, and the security guard goes like this with her arms, yada yada. And in my mind, it's like, okay, Amber, raise your arms up. She about to pat you down, make sure you have no weapons. Amber's mind, she goes, oh, she wants a hug, and she proceeds to step a step forward The security guard looks at her. I go, oh man. I go, sorry, ma'am. She's new to these places, I guess. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I don't know I don't know what to say in response to. I've never ever seen someone.
Hey man, she just got love for everybody, man. She was just trying to show love, man. That's all.
Oh, I didn't know. I go, yeah, because that lady didn't laugh. I laughed and Amber laughed, but that lady was not.
Man, she probably didn't know. Like she's probably
Yeah, she don't know you, Amber. She thought, you don't know what she thinking you crazy. First of all, you white in a black club, so ain't too many of y'all gonna be in here. But the lights, that's the widest things that gonna be in this club. The lights. But,
oh man.
Man, all right, since kind of sort of I watch on that same kind of like sheltered, we go sheltered level. Not that, whatever, as far as being exposed to things in life. Did you have a curve in your time when you got married to April, where you were like, oh, you don't know this? Oh, I thought it was common knowledge. Did you have any, like, it don't have to be nothing embarrassing. It could be anything. Like, have you ever,
the thing off the top of my head, I'm trying to think right now.
And it probably hasn't. It might not have been nothing that it probably, everything that y'all, going through life, it might be like simple, subtle things. But like going to, or like, when we get into the first time we go to a black club and Amber orders a Dirty Shirley and I had to go to Amber, they don't know what that is. You drink Hennessy on the rocks, Jack on the rocks, like vodka and cranberry or something like that. You got like black drinks you got to order. You like...
I mean, because I guess because we never went to the club like that, but we go to like the B-dubs and stuff to order drinks.
So it don't necessarily.
I mean, I can't think of anything. Oh man, I can't really think. Hey, I'm the slow one, so I can think of plenty of stories of me not knowing anything. I mean,
and it's not necessarily like intelligently not knowing. It might be like culturally not knowing. That's what I mean. But. I think for the most part, she's pretty much there to there. Y'all pretty much eye to eye. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. It might be culture-wise, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And understand. Better than I know. She was homeschooled. Nothing wrong with that. Anybody listening is homeschooled. But I just make sure, like, sometimes exposure levels could be different. And my wife wasn't homeschooled for anybody listening. And if Amber, if you listen, I know you went homeschool, so don't come here like, oh, I went to homeschool. I don't want to hear that. But it's just exposed. I can tell since I've been married to Amber and the time, is passing by, I can see that our exposure levels to things are vastly, vastly different. I can and it's just funny, like she entertains me with that joke. Like my parents and all my family love her. I think she's just because she's genuine about when she reacts to certain things. Like, let me ask you this question: what does the term "coochie" mean to you?
Oh, well, I mean,
if you know, okay. So by your reaction,
I mean,
what it means.
I mean, I'm just saying, you just that term just don't get thrown out of nowhere,
But you know what that term means, correct? Am I correct?
I know what it means. I'm just trying to plead the fifth to answer it.
That's fine. You don't have to go there, but until I won't say officially she had never heard that word, but she didn't really, that word wasn't grasped right off the top when she heard this word. I had to tell what it was, and she's like, oh, I thought that's what that meant. But yeah, I see generally, not everything is common across the boards for, black and whites. And I can see that a lot vastly better now since I'm married to a white woman. But
yeah. But I will say though, when I was clubbing, I'd rather go to the white people club because I mean they had more fun, and then you have to worry about nobody getting shot.
Speaking of,
yes, their drinks did have different names, but I like a big repertoire of drinks, not just I'm limited to Hemi and Crown and the regular stuff.
Oh,
I get enough that in my own cabinet. Let me learn something new, please.
Yeah. Speaking of, staying out of harm's way by not going to black clubs, let me tell you how my wife almost got me jumped at a black club. Okay. And, it was no intentionally fault to her own. It was more of a misunderstanding, crossing of lines when it came to the body language communication between her and another gentleman at this club. So we're at a club. We get there. We're waiting on my sister and her wife to get there so we can have drinks together and hang out. So we get there before them. We're at the bar, and I'm currently ordering drinks. So I'm turning to the bartender ordering drinks, and Amber's kind of slightly behind me, behind my back. So flip to her perspective. Now Amber's kind of looking out into the club floorway, and I guess there is a guy walking around, and he has made eye contact with now my wife, and I guess he does a certain head motion towards her to try to see if she will make if she's really looking at him. And so her response to him was, let me do a sarcastic eye gesture back at him to acknowledge that I know that you're looking at me, but I'm like that, just kind of looking at her.
Yeah.
So that transpired. So by this time I've gotten the drinks, and I'm turning towards, her. Meanwhile, there are three gentlemen, keep the three brothers standing here kind of not directly behind me, but probably 3 or 4 steps behind me. And one dude, the dude in the middle, flags me over. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, hey, is this your lady friend? And I'm like, yeah, this is my wife. Oh, okay.
Now did y'all both had y'all jewelry on too, right?
Huh?
Y'all had y'all jewelry on too, right?
No, I ain't have any jewelry on.
I'm talking about ring fingers and stuff.
She had hers on. I had mine on, but I don't necessarily. It was, it's a dark club, so I don't think he could necessarily see my hand.
I don't know about that.
Well, here's the thing. When he's doing that, I'm not even turned towards Amber. Amber's turned behind me, and not necessarily she's up on me. She's just kind of she's just standing here behind me, so she could be doing a number of things. And so I go, yeah, so, okay, man. I just wanted to make sure, man, because I didn't want to, I pretty much if he had pushed up on, I didn't want us, then we got to fight in and yada yada yada. I said, you know what, respect, man, because if I was drunk, I'm like, appreciate that, because in a different alternate reality, that could have went very, very wrong. And so after the situation happened, once again, Amber did nothing intentionally wrong. I want that to be clear. She did nothing intentionally wrong. It was more of okay, you got to understand where you're at. If you get what I'm saying. I get that you, because she thought, he was because he was yeah, she was making eyes at me. And for her, she was like, no, I did a sarcastic look. I go, all right, now making eyes doesn't necessarily have to mean batting your eyes like the 1950s. You don't have to flutter your eyes at someone anymore. It's more of you acknowledge this brother's look at you by doing a look back at him. Yeah. And so if he didn't
that's kind of, sometimes you could just look back. I guess it's weird because I guess it's all about when you're in the club. You go see other
club,
people.
You in the club. First of all, in the setting that you're in, this is where this kind of comes into a bad play. You're in a black club setting, and it's not we were the only two at this bar at the bar ordering something. It was me, her, and then someone sitting at this chair. And it's people in here, and so. Like I said, I get that she wasn't oh, I wasn't making eyes at him, but in his mind, like I said, you always gotta watch that perspective. You never know what's going on. Just because you think a certain way, that don't mean everybody else in the club think the same way you are. And so that's why you gotta be careful. I go, Amber, I know, I get that you were making eyes at him, but you gotta understand, you doing that sarcastic look at him, acknowledge that he looked at you, and that's all he needed for opening. Because guys in general, they just looking for any type of acknowledgement that you oh, and you don't have to be super interested. You don't have to be interested. You acknowledge him, so that just interests into any guy, and he drinking too, so he gonna take it up to a whole nother level. And so it's just one thing, you gotta be careful. You just gotta be careful, especially with us being a black club, because depending on who this is coming in here, they might know the bouncer, and they might not get pat down coming into the club, and they shooting here. So you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that our lives are going to be protected because no one's going to pop off unless you give them a reason to. No one's just
True.
randomly shooting. So that's so I learned that very quickly. Like, okay, not everything is across the board the same page for everybody, and at the you kind of learn that as time goes. Time, you learn. That's just what it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
I mean, if you're not learning, then you're not really in it, though.
yeah, it posed for very interesting, days, but all in all, fun.
Oh
Marriage has
yeah.
been, I'm over a year, some change. So far it's been good. We had some downs, some bad downs, and some good ups, but this is what you signed up for. This is what you said I do for. This is what you decided to do this, so it's a commitment. So that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the best commitment you can make, though. I mean, I'm just saying.
So man, what music you listen to now, man? Are you listening to anything new? Or what you got going on? Who caught your ear?
I mean, other than that, to like, I've been listening to Mess. I've been listening to. I don't know. I'm weird, dude. One moment I can listen to Drake. Next music I'll be listening to worship music. Next minute I'll be listening to gospel music. Next music I'll be listening to the K Dot or somebody. I'm all over the place, really. I mean, music nowadays, it's not really a genre that is really like setting it off, I mean, it's not even like artists who really set it off, I typically stay in like the 90s Prince radio or Pandora or something like that, or like New Jack Swing or something. I don't really. I mean, I listen to everybody's album when it comes out just to get a taste, a sample, see what's going on. Maybe there's a couple hits I can add to the playlist. Yeah. But other than that, I will plug my Christian rapper, No Big Deal. He's on my Facebook page. He just dropped a track. He's been rocking the world lately. Signed the Capitol Records for NF. I don't know if y'all know about that. I don't know if y'all.
I know who NF is. I know who NF is. Yeah.
I don't know if your listeners are up to the maturity level of NF type.
Well, hey, you can bring him on in. That's all it is.
Yeah. And definitely, but yeah, music wise, no. Now I will say, I mean, even though she's very vulgar, I do like Cardi B.
You like Cardi B? Are you on that Cardi B train? Are you on that Cardi? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it.
I'm not on like the level of being in the Beehive type of Cardi B train.
Oh, well, I know that. You find her music. You find her music. Worth enough to listen to. I've listened to a few of her songs. I've listened to songs. I mean, it just what it is.
Of being played in the car with my windows halfway down where you still can't see me.
Do you feel now? Because you know how you were younger, and your parents didn't understand the music you listened to. Did you feel like now you got to the age where you're like, I don't understand what's going on? And you kind of go back to like your parents should go back. You need to listen to this decade. In this decade, this is what the good music is. I feel like I've got to the age now like where I like a little bit, just like you said, I like a little bit of new music, but I said the 80s, 90s, R&B, pop, I listen to all that era, and I had like my sprinkle of people that I listen to that are in the newer age, and I'm like, man, I might be just getting old, and I just don't want to accept it. Do you feel like that?
Oh yeah, like because this whole mumble rap thing, or not being able to understand what are you saying, and I can't vibe with that. I really can't. I can't vibe with a hudda, what a do the sudda, what I don't know, what a no. Like when you listen to like the Tupac or somebody, you can actually understand what Tupac is saying. He is telling a story. These kids, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I don't rock. And I guess I feel like, for me, what makes me not listen to mumble rap is when I think about the essence of what rap is. Let's say you was in, when you used to play around, with your homeboys at the lunchroom table and y'all would rap. They wanted to hear what you would put together word wise. And like whether it's good, so they could tell you if it's trash, because you went at the lunch table hitting the beat and then just mumbling to it, and everybody thought that was tight. No, it's like you rap because you had bars. You could put words. You could play with words together. You can use this simile to make this sound like it was a double entendre. Like I don't get how I don't know where is the market or who is pushing it. How did they push mumble rap to the forefront? Like, who made it okay to say 6 words for a 4-minute song? Like, who made that okay?
I mean, it's not right when Drake is even pushing it with his "In My Feelings." I mean, because "In My Feelings" is just pretty much mumble rap that you can understand. I mean,
I mean, it's not. I would go. It's not a whole in-depth song. It's not really too much depth this to that song. That's pretty much what In My Feelings. But like at the end of the day, he's got to keep it mainstream because the kids are pushing. Like the kids tell you what's popular now, whereas it used to be the adults tell you what was popular back in the day. It's what the kids are pushing with us having social media and access to people a little bit more easier. You can't really control the narrative like you could earlier on years before social media, where the adults who were in corporations, they told you that Nas or Biggie or Jay-Z, they were the top. Now you got SoundCloud where people can make somebody famous overnight over a dumb song.
But then again, too, back in the day though, you had to be lyrically sound to even make it to the top for them to even push you though.
Yeah,
I mean,
and there was some trash music back in there in that day too, but they were more like you didn't get no radio play for real. If you didn't have a good song, like you just weren't played. I mean, and I just like, oh, I hate it because I mean, even though you're not that old, I'm not that old, and it's just like, oh damn, I'm really transitioning to this person now. Like now there is a time and place. Like when I'm in the club and I'm drinking, I'm listening just really for the beats. That's really what I'm listening for. I'm not really caring, because the words to the song makes no sense. And I'm not saying you gotta be a scholar. You gotta be a scholar rapping. You don't have to drop me a Shakespeare poem in the rap. I just want to hear.
Still, it's like watching a movie though. When you're listening, you want something to listen to that you can vibe to. That if you're walking around and you hear a beat, you can be, oh man, I'm gonna just start hitting it. Like it's like Kendrick Humble. I mean, shoot, I can't even think of how it goes.
But
I mean, syrup sandwiches and grandma allowances. Come on,
you go. I can relate to that. You're like, yeah, I want to relate to the word. I don't want to relate to sound effects. I guess if I was two, I can relate to sound effects because when you're a baby, you just you just mumble. So maybe a baby can relate more to the song than I can. But
and you know what else I think? Why we feel so old is social media goes so fast and it's like every day and it's so constantly at you that I feel like it has aged just a little bit because all the information we get is now instead of you waiting like till Sunday to get the newspaper or something, you're just getting all this information constantly bombarded on you. So I can see why we're old now because everything is just so quick paced. Like we go from this music wise, you go from one artist to the next within a year. I mean, I think nowadays for you to really be a great artist, it's not if you could come out with a good couple of albums now. It's like, what are you doing 10 years from now? Like Beyonce or Mariah Carey or somebody like that. Do you have the stamina to last that long?
Oh yeah, like I get that because your time can come and go real quick in this time of day. Like you can be real popping, 1 week. Hey, Fetty Wap, there you go. Fetty Wap was hitting it. Well, he had 3 or 4 songs that 1 year. Dude is.
But it's even like the Bad Barbie. I didn't know she was a rapper, bruh. Like I thought she was just somebody who was a Maury saying,
She capitalized. What she did was, which I can't knock her hustle. She capitalized on this internet fame and then said, "Let me do this, that, and that." I mean, I can't knock her for that. I mean, she's not like okay. I put it like this. I don't think she is a terrible artist in the fact of the songs I've heard from her. It's more of, wow, you really got a record label. Like it's more a record deal. Like it's a record deal. You really got a record deal. Like it's more like, man, like it was like if you think about it, it was easy. She was on the show acting a fool, and she blew it up into now she ain't gonna work. She ain't gonna go to school.
I mean, look at it. Like watch the Jackson 5. They had to go from club to club just for people to hear their music, just to get on a record deal, and then they had to travel just for people to hear it. Then now, because of social media, you can just I can sit here right now and make a song and post it on YouTube, and if it gets hot, I'm hot.
Yep, that's what it is.
It don't matter how long I'm hot for. It's just the fact that I'm hot.
Like the new thing, the hustle is a lot different than your.
I don't think it's a hustle, bro. It's just something you do, man.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Like the hustle in your parents and your grandparents' days, and even like when we were younger, watching your dad and all that is a little bit different. Whereas like you said, you can get on here, strum together a beat, and if the right amount of people catch it, it's gonna get hot. And you think you God's gift to the earth as a music producer. You're like, hey man, I'm quitting my job tomorrow, man. I made a song. I got 20,000 people that like it. It's like, and which, like I said, with this time and age of social media, it's take advantage of it. Yes, there's some positives of social media, just like there are a whole lot of negatives. If you could, it allows people who, let's say, can't afford school or don't want to go to school. It opens another path into a way of a career. Because I know for a lot of people, school just not for them. There's nothing wrong with going to school. There's nothing wrong with going to school. If you go to school,
nothing wrong with being educated.
It's nothing wrong with being educated. Something. But education can come from different ways than just a book. Because you can be street smart, you can be book smart. I like to have both. I like to just being overall knowledgeable is the key to life. You're like, if you know nothing about nothing, you're doomed to be killed because you just don't understand nothing. Hey. But if you know a little bit about a lot of things, you can get yourself through life. Like, that's just what it is. You got that mentality to a little bit about a lot of something, or even hyper focus on something to get yourself to somewhere. That's just where it's at, especially with this time and day and age. Of what we got going on.
Sometimes I wish I could just hit the pause button.
One thing negative of social media is articles. I hate articles. I hate anything that has to do with someone posting something, and then you click into this article, and then you read the comments, and all of a sudden a racial war pops out over nothing. Like, it was to the point, I've got to the point, I think my wife tried to tell me something that she read an article, and it was a response to someone making an article to say that the Charlie Brown movies or Charlie Brown was racist. And I was like, you know what? What? You know what? And this is the thing. You know what? I said, Amber, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and stop you right there because I don't even want to hear it. Because it's just, some things are just what it is. It's Peanut Gang. It's Charlie Brown. That should not be nowhere near anybody's mouth to go. Racism and Charlie Brown should never be in the same sentence at the same time.
That's like saying racism and Dr. Seuss. Where do you get that from?
And it's like, and then I hate it that everyone, I tell my buddy, because he got into, he watched, I think he read an article, and then he saw two people get into a racial battle. I go, dude, this is why you don't go read articles. Because it ain't nothing but a trap. Because even though you're not in this racial argument, you just got this negativity passed on to you, and you're carrying it on out into the world. And just, dude, it's nothing. It is not good for you, bro. It's like reading articles are the worst thing to do on Facebook. Like, I'll read people's updates, like my family and stuff like that, and hey, what's going on, yada yada. But when it comes to these articles, this person did this person changed her skin shade. I don't care. I truly don't care. It has nothing to do with me, man. It really doesn't.
I mean, honestly, I'm with you there. I don't read, it got to a point where I don't read anything on social media if it's not coming from a news source like CNN or Fox, or because I kind of surf through all the news sites just because I think you should just stick to one news site. You got to have sources from everywhere. You got to formulate your own opinion from everybody else's opinion too. But I mean, no, you're right. It's like people just post first of all, it could just be the simplest article. People in the comment section just go crazy. But I think then again too, as we pointed out, it's just people having a voice and just wanting to say some stupid stuff just to say it and see where it goes. Some of these people, I don't believe with half the stuff they be saying. They just say it to get a reaction.
Yeah, and
we're so quick to react instead of just sitting back and just letting it think, marinate in your mind, and then either comment or just move on. You don't gotta comment on everybody's comment. If somebody say Charlie Brown is racist and you don't believe that, you don't got to comment back. Just be like, all right, dude.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong. I don't, free speech and yada is cool, but everything is not a racial battle or a sexist battle. Everything is not even with everything, with people gender's not feeling equal or the same stuff. Everything is not. Some things are meant to be for men, some things are meant to be for women. And it's just what it is. Why are we trying to change that? Why? Why are we trying to make it so much more complicated what it is? This should be black and white. If you're a woman, you're a woman. If you're a man, you're a man. You're a woman based on these body parts, and you're a man based on these body parts. Because you put this on this body part, on this person, doesn't make you the other gender because you weren't born that way. I'm sorry.
It just said, God said, man and female. If you came out with some certain things, that means you are I mean, and your mind can trick you. I mean, our minds are terrible. Our minds are dirty. So I mean, my minds think of horrible things like Holocaust and war and building walls. I mean, that's your mind doing that. That's not something I mean, we're not created for all that stuff like that. I mean,
and so it just it brings to a point of like, I mean, I just go about my day like it's like I don't like I'm not nosy enough to care about no one's articles that's on Facebook, so I don't let it bring me down. Like you could tell me something. Like it's cool to know about the news. It's good to know what's going on in your country, but now to the point some of the junk is just fake news just to be. This is, to cover up some stuff, but it's like, oh my God, it's just too much work to try to figure out what's going on in the world. Like it's to the point you got to be really searching the web and go to every source to find out what's really, 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 really going on. And you might not still get the whole 100% of that. You might get all the way up to about 85%, and there's still another, some change left that ain't really true. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, and to me. This is news. News is an event that happened, and then everybody gives their opinion on the event instead of just reporting. Like if we all was at let's say we're all was at a shooting that happened. Everybody at that shooting knows what happened, but then all these other people are going to throw in their opinion or their 2 cents about it in the way they think. But you have to come back down and think about, okay, so what really happened?
Yeah.
Let me formulate my opinion on if this could this have been prevented? If it couldn't, maybe we need to work harder to fix A, B, or C. But you can't let other people's opinion just run you crazy or run you to hate other people. I mean, I live my life now to where, you know what? When I wake up, the people who I come in contact to, no matter if I don't know you, no matter what color you are, y'all are the most important people to me in my little spirit. If I'm in the store and we sit in a line and, so we strike up small talk, you are the most important to me at this moment. So you know what? Let's talk. Let's chat. I'm not here for this hatred thing. You can have that, okay? Bump that.
Yeah, that's just what it is, man. It's like you gotta you know what? Even if I did read an article, I'm not gonna sit here and read it and then go, why does this make so mad? I'm not gonna jump on there and try to get into this racial battle with this person. Like, hey, you don't understand because you're not this. Like, no, I'm not gonna do all that because it's not even worth it. Because at the end of the day, who's winning this fight? Y'all, finger tapping on a computer or on the phone or something like that. It ain't solving you anything. You're just getting riled up for no damn reason.
Yeah. How about you just go out into the public and hang with people who aren't like you and just realize how much you are like them. Like really, I mean, because I'm sure if you hated somebody but you saw somebody at the same bar watching the same football game, I'm pretty darn sure if Blake Bortles scored a touchdown pass, which we know he ain't gonna do, we all go cheer and then we all go chat it up, even though we hate each other. So come on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, hold on one second. I had to let the cat out. But all right, I'm back. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, man. And I just want to say, it's like it's no way to solve it because you could tell somebody like, hey, this is what you need to do. It's up to them to think that way, and like, hey, don't get engulfed in it because it's just gonna drag you home down.
The way to solve it is we continue to do what we do. We continue to love everybody for who they are, no matter how you think. And I mean, sooner or later, it's just gonna trickle down to other people. It might not hit the person that hates you right now, but it might hit like their sister or their mother or somebody. You never know where your kindness is gonna lead to. So all that hate stuff, I mean, like I said, y'all can have that. I'm not here for that. And plus, that raises everybody's blood pressure. I already eat too much chicken already. I don't need blood pressure raising.
Oh man! All right, so I want to switch this. This is probably our last topic right here. Back to sports. I want to ask you this question. You as a sports watcher, you watched a lot of sports throughout the different years that you were actually, watching it and watching people win games, lose games. Has the college football team, Alabama, do you think they have ruined what it means to have a good season?
Man, I'm tired of people saying, I feel like, no, man, to be the best, you got to beat the best, bro. I mean, there got to be a coach out there who's like, man, I'm tired of Nick Saban winning. You know what? I'm going to get out this. I'm going to hit these recruiting trails. We going to coach these boys up. I'm going to create my own little factory. So when we run up against Alabama, it ain't going to be they just go wax us. We going to be in here to fight. And I really think Clemson and Dabo Swinney, I think they have what it takes to beat Bama this year, just because their defensive line is sick. And, hopefully they could, put some pressure on Tua. But, I mean, I love that Alabama whoops on everybody because, I'm a person that if I'm winning, if like Russell beat me mad at all the time. But you know what? I keep coming back to play. I want to win. I want to be the best. Just laying down ain't gonna make you better. You gotta go out there and you gotta beat your demons, dog. So with that to say, they haven't ruined anything, but I love them beating everybody.
What I meant by that question was, have they tarnished what it means to have a good season? And now what I mean by that is, people think people look at your later team. Y'all have won 9 games? Y'all 9-3 or 10-3?
9-3. I was one off from what we should.
And I can find a person right now that would call your team trash.
Well,
that's what I mean by what a good season is. A great season is a undefeated season, because the specialness of what undefeated used to be was like, oh, we were undefeated, yada yada, because you don't get that all the time. So I don't care what because it's still, you have to go out and play these games, win those games, because once again, a sport like football, it's not a perfect game. It's no way to play it perfect. It's no way for every person on this field to do their job so well that no one ever gets a flag, no one ever misses a block, no one ever drops a ball, no one ever throws a bad pass.
Unless you're the 72 Dolphins. I mean, yeah. they are,
And so what I mean by that, I have people who are not truly football fans. They're just fans of a great team like Alabama, and they don't understand what a good season and what an actual bad season actually is.
Well, taking to your point, even though you said you see a good season as undefeated, the Gators this year, we went 9-3 after being last year. I think we were like 4 or something, and we went from Felipe Franks. Everybody didn't like Felipe at the beginning of the year, and then you come to the end of the year like, okay, well, he lost some games, but you know what? He showed up pretty good. That's a year to build on to next year to where maybe we can go undefeated.
I think y'all had a good season. That's what I'm not saying. Yeah, and even my Longhorns, we having a good season because you got to think of where we're coming from.
Oh yeah,
you got to think of where we're coming from and then how we're playing. I think Alabama's having a great year, and I have no problem with them winning games. It just I see fans who know, or I always go keep it like that. I see people who are SEC fans who I see mind frames where they think the SEC is like it is college football. That is the only conference. Like there's nothing outside of that. Like I actually sat and watched a kid because he had like his uncle or something like him. He was teaching about the rules. Like the rules in the NFL are different than they are in college. And the kid's like, yeah, he's like, the NFL rules are different from the SEC. And it's like, no, he had to go all of college. And so his mind pattern as a young kid that SEC is like the only thing in college football. And it's like, bro, there's a lot of football out there besides SEC. And you get your heart broken if you don't understand it now. Like, if you get older, like, where's this team coming from? Well, there's hundreds of teams across the country, and I guess I'm that college football purist to that form. Like, I love all football across the country. I give respect what respect due. Now there are teams that are like, hey, that team is just terrible, but I could actually, for myself, Kendall, if you ask me how did this team lose, I could tell you the X's and O's. Hey, these dudes front seven was so much more dominant than your offensive line. And as a quarterback, if your offensive line cannot protect you for more than 3 seconds, bro, you're not going to live. You're not going to win this game. Then I have people that just say they just suck because they saw the score and that's all they know. And like, bro, did you watch the game? Like, I need you. If you can't, that's me. If you as a fan, if you say a team suck, if I ask you, why do they suck? If you can't give me X's and O's points back, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. That's it.
I feel you on that. Hey, speaking of having a good season, it's just like the Lakers getting LeBron James. We can't help but have good seasons now after these horrible 5 years.
Oh, and that's a good switch right there. All right, now without all the news drama, we all know in the NBA, regardless of what's going on, If you're a good team, you're gonna be a good team when it comes playoff time. We all know beginning of the season, they don't really give a damn about what's going on. They don't care till after the All-Star break. And so, we've seen that little 4-game skid for the Warriors or whatever, but they've won the last couple of games. But we saw that 4-game skid like, oh man, yeah, man, it's Draymond and KD. I was like, we get it. That is a big thing that's in their locker room. And regardless of what's going on, until we're in that locker room and we actually know how they're actually coexisting together, like we get it. Draymond called Kevin Durant a B. Yada yada. I've seen that happen on a recreational court with some homeboys. And so it's like, and you go, like, at the end of the day, these are guys, these are men playing basketball at a competitive level so high. Bro, you've seen guys get into it over a missed call. Like, dude, you fouled me. And there's no refs on the floor. So I've seen that. Like, and I think to myself, you got to understand, they're still all-star. Like, bro, when come after All-Star break, they're going to make a playoff push. They're going to be fine. Only way we don't know they're not going to be fine if they don't make the playoffs when playoff time come around. But we ain't there. Right now we're here. And so I hear my cousins and stuff like that go, yeah, man, they're trash, man, they're trash. And then I probably watch the Warriors rattle off like 6 games back to back. Well, are they trash or are they not? It's like, I hate those emotional, too emotional entwined type sports watchers. Like, they trash one week, but they're great the next. Like, no. I need the whole body of work. So, like, even LeBron and them. LeBron, they going to figure it out. They got to get the chemistry. They might end up making some trade moves because the trade deadline ain't till All-Star break, which is in February. Was it February? Yeah, February.
From now.
A hot minute from now. So, even if they have, like, Kendall, even if y'all have kids, y'all are going to make it to the playoffs. Lakers are going to make it to the playoffs. I have no doubt in my mind. I want you to know that. I have no doubt. There's no, like, a if. It's no if in my mind. Like, because at the end of the day, what makes a person, like, great is their consistency through history. Mm-hmm. How we know Tom Brady is going to the playoffs? Because history has told us Tom Brady is going to the playoffs. Like, he makes it every time. It's without a doubt. He's most likely getting to the AFC Championship game. You need the time behind it to make you a consistent winner.
That's true.
It's like, you know how you can't, because you keep history every year, you keep doing the same thing. We know LeBron's going to the playoffs. He's going to the playoffs without shouting a doubt. They're going to make some moves that's going to make them more deadly because I like this team better than I like his Cavalier team. He got more athletes on this team that he can, like, build around. Yes.
And they're babies. They don't know how to win yet. They don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, and Bron and them old guys are going to show them what they need to do. And when it come time, after a full season of playing, they're going to be ready.
Like, yes, I know LeBron. He likes veterans because he knows they've been there, done that. That's why he has Rondo. I don't know why they got Beasley because he ain't been there or done anything.
I mean, he's waiting. If somebody get hurt, he can just come in.
Yeah, and Lance Stevenson, he's been
great though. He's been great.
He's been great, but watch, don't get twisted. Like what consistently history has told you, Lance Stevenson always get to a certain point and he does some Lance Stevenson bullshit.
We had Ron Artest, and you know what? Hey, Ron Artest got that ring though.
Yeah, but see, Ron Artest play some defense all the time. Like, he was crazy. He plays some damn defense.
I mean, Lance bring energy. You can't fault the energy that he bring.
I can't fault. I like Lance. I loved it when he was an Indiana Pacer, and then he got his money in Charlotte, and then he said, you know what? I'm just out here, baby. I'm just out here to dribble the basketball. See, he ain't got it between the ears at all times. Kendall, that's the thing. Right now, y'all playing like no one cares right now.
That's how you should play, though. You should play that. That's why they're so comfortable on the court. Even though we've been losing and they're getting better, they're just so comfortable out there. It's not like everybody's not worried about anything. They just out there playing. They doing their thing, and that's what made the Warriors so good. They just so comfortable. Steph Curry just walks out there and just launch from everywhere, even though it's wet all the time. But still, they just
now that is talent. He does have skill. I'm not gonna sit there like I can't throw up 30 footers. Like I might make one or like 20 shots, but I can't do.
I might not even get close.
Bro, I can see that he could knock down probably 10 or 15 of them jokers, with ease if he was just shooting practice shots. But I just think, like, only teams that are doing terrible, the Wizards. Hey, your boy Dwight Howard over there, like butt play. I don't know what he got going on. I don't know. I don't know what. Hey, bro. Hey, I don't know what Dwight got going on in his life. But it's like
living his best life.
He somebody. It like say, you know what? Hey, you know what, Dwight, live your life, brother. Live your life. And you know that's him. I'm not gonna condemn that man for nothing. But that's just that whole team is dysfunctional.
Now,
you know they. Go ahead.
Can I tell you I had a J.R. Smith moment on the spade table?
Oh, he on the Henny again.
Listen. So we went 8. We went 8 books to like their foe. Okay. So I had like now I didn't know this, but my big cousin, shout out to Preston, he had the big joker, little joker, and then a couple high spades, and I had a couple spades. So and we had to take we probably could have read dime on them. So there's one book he threw out a spade, and once you already have it locked down, I didn't think none of it. So he threw out a spade, everybody else had a spade. How about I throw a heart out and set it on the table, and then the next spade was played. I looked in my head, I was like, oh my God, I just reneged. And this is like at around noon time too, so it's not like I done had anything to drink. This is like early morning. We just outside playing, and I looked at everybody like, man, y'all, I just messed up. I just had my J.R. Smith.
You know what? You had double J.R. Smith because in that thing right there. So we know, all right, your nigga was bad, but now it comes to the play. You gotta make sure that people are watching the board. So that's when you keep playing and don't say no shit. Now, if you play someone like my wife,
I'm not that kind of person, man. My facial expressions give it away. I was like, oh,
yeah, you can't hold it. Bro, because at the end of the day, if you do that, bro, hey, you renege, but you gotta make that jump seem like you didn't, bro. Unless that's the whole Washington table comes into play. But hey, you went ahead and fessed up. I ain't mad.
It was too late because all the older heads they already knew. They looked at everybody looking at me smiling.
Yeah, they go,
give me them books, dog.
Give me them books. Oh no! Okay, well, yeah, that maybe they know the table. They knew what was going on. So yeah, that means if you renege, they had to go ahead and scoop that ass real quick. Go ahead.
That was my J.R. Smith moment of the year.
By ESPN.
Oh
God! But man, we'll let you end on that note for tonight, man. But
I was just trying to end on that. I don't got nothing else to say, man. You Ricky Nichols on the spade table with the run of the that set us back 80 points, and we never recovered. So
But man, this was a good talk, man. We made it almost an hour, so that's good. I'm keeping it under an hour. Yeah. But man, I look forward to making this. I want to do an episode at least once a week. Have one up once a week. That's a little easy schedule that way we can record. And I could edit it and put it out that week, boom, and then we can do it again to keep that cycle going. I want to do every week. So next week, I'll put this one up, boom. I might put it up this week, actually. But next week, record again, bingo, and keep it going like that until we get that rhythm pattern where we can get these kinks out, make a very better podcast for everyone to listen to and get it,
Man. I feel like we can get it there, man. It's gonna take a minute for us to get it down, but hey, it's all good.
But with that being said, man, I've been Destin Parker, and that's been Kendall Allen, man. This has been a Smooth Way podcast, man, and we out.
Yo.